You know that moment when a friend texts you, "I'm thinking about finally getting a full-size outdoor dining set, but I'm scared I'll end up with something that looks great in the catalog and then falls apart after a few rainstorms." I've been there, and I get why you'd hesitate spending a few $100 on a set that can't handle the sun, the wind, or the inevitable spills from kids is a real risk. So before you click Add to Cart, I want to walk through what makes the Polywood Vineyard 9-piece farmhouse dining set a solid bet or why it might not be the right fit for you. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the material because that's the backbone of any outdoor set. Polywood calls its lumber genuine HDPE, which is basically a high-density plastic made from recycled materials. The big thing about HDPE is that it won't splinter, crack, or warp like traditional wood when you leave it out in the elements. In practice, that means you can set the table out for a weekend barbecue, a rainy summer dinner, or even let the kids run around it with a ball, and you won't notice any tiny chips or loose boards later. The set also has a UV protectant built into the color, so the slate gray finish stays muted rather than turning a bleached white after a season of sun. The hardware is marine-grade stainless steel, which is a fancy way of saying it's designed to resist rust even when you live near the coast. I've seen cheaper metal frames rust through within a year in salty air, so that's a tangible benefit if you're in a humid or seaside area. The table itself measures a generous 59 inches long, comfortably seating 8 people without feeling cramped. The 8 side chairs have that classic arched back you see in Farmhouse decor, and the seat is contoured to give a bit of natural support. No need for a cushion if you're okay with a firm feel. Now, where does this set shine in everyday life? Picture a Saturday evening with a group of friends. You pull the chairs out, set a platter of grilled veggies, and the table holds the weight of a few pizza boxes, a pitcher of lemonade, and a couple of candle lanterns without wobbling. Because the pieces are heavy thanks to the dense HDPE, you won't have to worry about them tipping over when someone leans back. Cleaning is straightforward: a hose down, a quick scrub with soap and a soft brush, and you're good to go. There's no need to haul the whole set inside for winter storage. The material tolerates freezing temperatures without becoming brittle. That said, there are a couple of practical trade-offs that pop up once you start using it week after week. The biggest one is weight. While the heft keeps the set stable, it also makes rearranging a chore. If you like to reconfigure your patio for a game of cornhole, or need to move the table for a big party, you'll likely need a couple of strong hands or a dolly. For renters or anyone who lives in an apartment with a balcony that needs to be cleared for building maintenance, that weight can be a deal-breaker. Comfort is another nuance. The chairs are designed to be ergonomic, but they don't have built-in cushions or the plush softness of a padded outdoor chair. If your family spends long evenings dining al fresco, you might find the seats a bit firm after a couple of hours. Some owners add their own weather-resistant cushions, which definitely helps, but that's an extra cost and something you'll need to clean or replace eventually. Pricing lands in the mid-range for a full 8-person set. You're paying for the recycled material, the UV protection, and the marine-grade hardware. If you compare it to a traditional teak set, you'll notice the price is lower, and the maintenance is far simpler. You won't need to oil or seal the wood each season. However, if your budget is tight and you only need a small table for occasional use, the Vineyard set might feel like overkill. You could get a more compact 4-piece set for a fraction of the price, and still enjoy decent durability. So, who should really consider this set? If you have a sizable patio, deck, or garden where you regularly host dinner parties, family gatherings, or weekend brunches, the Vineyard set gives you a ready-made, stylish foundation. It's especially appealing for folks who love the farmhouse aesthetic, but don't want to wrestle with wood maintenance. Homeowners with kids or pets will also appreciate the splinter-free surface. No worries about a curious dog chewing on a wooden leg and exposing rough edges. And if you're environmentally conscious, the fact that the lumber is made from recycled plastic adds a feel-good factor. Conversely, if you're a city dweller with a small balcony, a frequent mover, or someone who prefers ultra-soft seating, you might want to look elsewhere. The set's weight and firm chairs don't play nicely with limited space or